It's weird when you actually consider that the notch on iPhones might be a better idea after all. Because if you're wondering if Apple is going for a punch hole or a pill shape for the next iPhones, this new information might surprise you. Yes, it seems Google hasn't completely canceled its plans for a Pixel Foldable, as today we get more details, and Samsung wants to release the Galaxy Home speaker for real this time. I'm Jaime Rivera, and if you're wondering exactly how is it that today is already Thursday, Friday for some of you, trust me, you're not alone. This is Pocketnow Daily. Guys, there are no official news today, but let's start by talking interesting things. Remember the Galaxy Home? Yes, that speaker Samsung announced all the way back in 2014, but that they never really launched or mentioned absolutely ever again. Well, proves how much the company believes in Bixby, but sure. I know that they launched the mini variant of it later with the Galaxy S20, but only in South Korea, so I don't really know if that counts. But anyways, it looks like Sammy doesn't want to give up on the smart speaker market just yet. We have a new tweet from Max Jambor claiming that the Galaxy Home Mini 2 isn't too far away anymore. He also provided the model number, but in his typical fashion, he didn't mention anything else. Now, when it comes to the price tag, we expect it to cost anywhere between $80 to $100, considering the price of the previous one in South Korea. And of course, with Samsung's smart speaker track record, though, we should take all this with a grain of salt. But if it does happen, rumors hint that we can get it with the Galaxy S22 series, which we hear will happen early February. We'll see. Let's shift gears onto OPPO and their next flagship. I mean, back in December, we got some renders of what we can expect, where it looked like they won't be going for a drastic change in design like they have every generation so far, and instead they're going for more of an iteration with the Find X4's design, or I should call it Find X5 since you know how China doesn't like the number 4. Now we have a new report from Digital Chat Station revealing the specifications. They started off by sharing the model number and the fact that we can expect the 6.7-inch 2K LTPO AMOLED display running at 120Hz. It'll be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 along with OPPO's new NPU chip, and it'll pack a 5,000 mAh battery, 80-watt wired charging, and then when it comes to the cameras, we can expect a 32-megapixel sensor, which we assume is the selfie camera, and then two 50-megapixel shooters like we got last year, and I assume the 13-megapixel camera we hear about is the telephoto. And I mean, we hear of another 32-megapixel camera, but the information is too cryptic to decipher. So yeah, we don't have much more information, but is it just me or does this sound more like a OnePlus 10 Pro? Moving on, let's talk about Google and a device that has been in the leaks on and off for the past, year? I mean, we're talking they're foldable. Google just released the second beta for Android 12L yesterday, and it comes with a bunch of bug fixes and minor design changes, but the guys over at 9to5Google just discovered some animations in the new beta that show how to insert a SIM card into a foldable smartphone that appears to be that Google phone. The report mentions that Google is continuing to build their own foldable, which is codename Pipit. And I know, weird name, but it apparently might not sport a high-end camera like we get on the Pixel 6 series, but it will be powered by Google's Tensor chip. Now, as for the animation, it looks like this device resembles the OPPO Find N more than the Galaxy Z Fold 3. It's got this sort of short cover display, and it extends into a much larger panel. This animation also looks a lot like the ones we see when other Pixel devices are starting up, hinting that this is a Google phone after all. And recently we also got a tweet from John Prosser where he reiterates that this phone is not canceled, so let's see when Google's leak cycle starts, because I mean, it's gonna get interesting. And finally, for the hottest news today, can I just say that iPhones are getting a crazy amount of leaks for how early it is. As yes, we have a new batch for the iPhone 14 and what Cupertino plans to do about the notch. For the past year or so, we've had multiple sources mention that we're getting a punch hole display for the Pro models, and earlier this week we heard that we're getting a pill-shaped one instead. Now we have a new report from Ross Young claiming that we're actually getting both. His report says that they believe that Apple will have a hole and a pill design for the iPhone 14 Pro and the Pro Max models. Apparently, the smaller hole will be visible, and this two-hole concept will be unique to Apple, kind of like the pill is for Huawei phones, and the notch has been for Apple uniquely. The pill-shaped cutout will house Face ID's infrared camera and the selfie camera, with the smaller cutout being for the Face ID dot projector. This design was sort of leaked back in September by someone on Twitter, but once you get Ross Young chiming in, it might just happen. And don't worry, if you want the regular notch, you can just go for the regular models, because apparently that's going to still happen. But in today's question, let us know, which one would you prefer? A punch hole, a pill, both, or to go old-fashioned with the notch? Because at this point, honestly, I feel it's going to look so ridiculous that I would rather just get Touch ID. Can we just get Touch ID right now that we still have to wear a damn mask? That's just me. Leave us a comment down below. We'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see me debate end of week for the first time in a while. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.